evening. So my name is Joshua, as in my and this will be my introduction to my video demo. So my application is called FocusLock, and FocusLock is basically a mobile application that seeks to help users get back on track when it comes to using social media applications. So the problem is basically teenagers, parents, guidance, people just losing track of social media usage. They overuse it, they forget to do what they have to do. This is a challenge because one, loss of sleep when it comes to the teenagers per se, they overuse applications and they forget to sleep. And also lack of studies. So they overuse the application and they fail to do the appropriate things like studying for their exams and those type of things. So this is what Focus Lock is all about, is to help solve that particular situation. But it can't solve the situation if the person doesn't have the mentality to try and get back to track. So this is to help those that have that particular mentality to try and get back to track when it comes to those social media usage and track time loss. So a challenge that I faced while I was trying to implement this particular application. So it was very difficult to track the background usage because when you close the app, the background tracking stops. So what I did was I integrated a flatter foreground tags and then the app usage as well from pub.dev. And from there, then I initialized the background communication at app startup so that the app and background isolates code exchange tracking. Then after that, I configured and started a view foreground service to keep tracking alive even when the app is not at the foreground. Then I connected a background tags handler. I connected a background tags handler and implemented the repeating tracking circles. Inside the circle, I put Android usage stats, filtered monitored apps, and stored results locally for history. Next, I push tracking events back to the main isolate so that the UI reacts immediately to the usage. Then on the UI side, I registered and handled those background events on the dashboard state updates in real time. And finally, I added reliability protection if Android kills the service. The app checks and restarts it automatically. So what are some of the other packages that I have in the application? So I have FI chat, which is for the history of the application. I have permission handler. I also have um, flatter time zone. I have local notifications, and then also the two that I just mentioned. So what who are my target users? My target users are basically, as I said, teenagers, students, parents, guidance. These are the people that would need these particular applications for themselves, even teachers as well. So let's go right into the demo. The demo has been speed up a little bit because of time, so it might be talking fast, but I assure you that you'll be able to hear me clearly. Let's go right to the demo. So as I said, this is the demo of my application. The application is called FocusLock, as I said. So when you open the application, if you're a user, if you're a new user, the application would ask you to sign up. We do this so that you don't go through the onboarding twice. So yes, so this is the login page, and then so if you don't have an account and you log in, it won't work. So as you can see, so because I don't have an account, so from there I just register. So it will send you a link to your email, the email that you used. So you just go there and you click on that particular email. Um, Let me check. Um, yes.
Okay. So after you verified, then you can go back to the application. Yeah, so this it brought me here because I've already verified from a particular section. So we continue from here. So you have to give access to you have to give access to the application. Yeah, so after you give the accessibility permission, then you give the usage permission as well. So this is the onboarding phase that I was saying. So that's the setup phase. So now you have to set your application up. Okay, so you just input your name, and then you set your wake up and sleep time. So the wake up and sleep time is basically for in case maybe you don't want the application to work within a particular session time. So for instance, if I set 7 a.m. and then 11 p.m., I have an option in the application where you can allow the application to do the tracking with these particular times, and an option where you can toggle it off so that it can track from within the 24-hour range. So here we just leave it at the 7 to 11 p.m. because that's like the normal assumption of when people wake up and sleep. And then at this particular phase, you're going to select the applications you wanted to track. So you selected 4 applications. And then now this is the daily limit. So this is where everything goes on it. So the daily limit is basically how many minutes do you want to spend on social media. Basically, it tracks all the 4 applications together. So it's not like it does every application like in the single session. It does all of them together. So if I choose, for instance, if I choose 5 minutes, because of the demo, I'm going to choose 5 minutes. So if I choose 5 minutes for the daily limit, it means that if I use all applications together, I can only use for just 5 minutes. So TikTok, the application that I choose, everything combined, I can only use them for 5 minutes. And then this is cooldown. So cooldown is basically when after the application locks. So after you're done using your 5 minutes, the application will lock. When the application locks, how many minutes should the application reopen for you again? And that's the cooldown. So we are setting that one to 5 minutes. So the cooldown is also taking 5 minutes. And then after that, we have the extra unlock. So the extra unlock is basically for, say, after the application has logged, maybe an emergency came up, so you want to be able to use the application one more time. That's what the extra unlock is for. So the extra unlock is basically, oh, okay, let me just reopen the application for this particular minute or this particular time. So that one too has so you can see the extra unlock per day that you have there. So I've set it to 3, which means that in a day I have 3 extra unlocks, and that one too, I'm going to set the time limit to 5 minutes. And then we've already selected our extra unlock, so we continue. And here is where we create the pin. So the pin is so that there are some settings that when you do, you would have to have a pin for it. And we continue. So you can see everything here. Limit is 5 minutes cooldown, and we are tracking 4 apps. Okay, so because the app uses because it uses the mobile storage, based on the application you choose, you've already used them for a couple of times today. So you can see that we have 29 minutes here, and it's showing the applications that we use today. So it means that today Snapchat has taken 23 minutes, WhatsApp has taken 6 minutes. So we've used 29 minutes, which means that we've overused the minutes that we said that we want to use because we downloaded the application today. It's using the storage of the phone. So right now it's counting, the cooldown is counting, and I said the cooldown is when you want to reuse after the application gets logged. The cooldown is where you want to maybe reuse the application. You wait, the waiting time is the cooldown. When you're done waiting, it will show you a pop-up message, and that message would let you unlock the application. But this particular time, when it unlocks, because we've already used 29 minutes, remember our extra unlock time was just 5 minutes, so it's going to keep on locking until it consumes the 29 minutes we've spent the whole day It's going to keep unlocking until we consume the 29 minutes we spend the whole day. And in this particular one, because I had just 3 unlock, it means that we are not going to be able to use the application today. So yes, now we are going to wait for the cooldown. We're going to wait for the cooldown to finish, and then we see how we unlock the phone. But before that, so we can come to history. Now when we come to history, we have the week total there. So today, the week, because we started today, is 29 minutes for today. Daily average is 4 minutes. Peak day is 29 minutes because today is when we started using the application. The quiet day, so it counts within the 7 days, and because we started using it today, the quiet day is 0 minutes because if you look down here, if you look down there, it started from 17th, like it counts back 7 days. So automatically it assumes that on the 17th we had 0 minutes, and so that's why the quiet day is 0. And then we have the bar chart here. You can still see the apps that we are tracking here, and then we come to settings. So at settings, this is where you have to enter your PIN. Okay, so at settings, you can come and change the daily limit and everything here, but you can only do this just once, in the sense that if you increase distance, because this is an application that's supposed to help you reduce the time that you are spending on social media. So if we give the opportunity for users, they would always come and increase their daily limit so that they can keep on using the application. So I've set it in such a way that you can only increase it once in 30 days. So all these things, all the daily limits, the cooldown and everything, you can only increase it once in 30 days. So I'm going to increase it to 45 minutes. And I'm going to increase the extra unlocks to 5. So when I do this, when I'm about to leave settings, it will tell me that if I leave settings, these particular increase that I've done, I can only do it in the next 30 days. So yeah, so this is the prompt. It tries to tell you that I can only do it in the next 30 days. When you click apply, which means that the next time that you come back there. So now let's go back, and if I type the pin, so now let me try to increase this and let's see what will happen. So you try going back, and then it will tell you that the increase did not happen. So you can see it's still up to 45 minutes, but you can always reduce. So the assumption is that, again, you want to reduce the amount of time you spend on social media. So you can always reduce, but for the increase, you can do it just once. And then we have the apps that you can track. That one to the same logic. You can increase the apps that you are tracking, but you can't reduce the apps that you are tracking, because the assumption is that we want you to use the social media effectively. Then from there, we have automation. So the automation, this is why I was talking about the scheduling, right? So if I switch it on, it means that the application will only track from 7 to 11. Anytime above 7 and 11, the application will not be doing the tracking. And then we have the account preferences. So you can change your PIN. You can change your PIN here. You can, so when I open the application, you realize that there was a notification saying that I've reached my daily limit. All of those ones are in the notification section, so you can toggle it off or you can bring it on, and you can change the theme to a dark theme, and you can switch off the tracking to the pickup tracking. Also, the pickup is when, like, you leave the phone, so it tracks how many times you've raised your phone. So when we go back to home, you can see that the cooldown has vanished, and because I increased the time, now you can realize that it has added the time to this particular place. So let's go back. Let's try accessing one of the applications and see. Because the cooldown was down counting, we will have to type we have to like type a password for us to be able to check the application again. Okay, so because we added more time to it, yes, so because we added more time to it, it means that we have to reuse, we have to wait for another 5 minutes for us to be able to unlock. So I'm going to decrease the time limit so that I could probably show the unlock demo. Let me increase it back to 10 minutes. So as I said, you can always decrease, but you can't increase. Okay, so let's wait for an extra 3 minutes to see if it will work. So I have 10 minutes. Let's try to access one of the apps that we are tracking. Okay, so as you can see, so the cooldown is over. Then you have to review the challenge. So you have to first type in this particular. Okay, so we have 8 seconds more. So I type in this particular one. Now, after you are done typing in that particular one, you can check down there that you have 5 unlocks today and you've not used any of them. So when you click, then you type in your password, your PIN. Okay, so you can see the message saying that one unlocked has been used and it opens the application for you. But so I set it to 10 minutes, and as I said, we've already used, because I've set it to 10 minutes now and we've used 29 minutes, it means that we've overused what we said we'll be using today. So it's going to keep on locking and it's going to ask us to keep on using the unlocks, but we can never use the application because we've already exhausted the number of minutes that we said we'll be using for our entire applications today. So until the next day before we can actually continue using the application, because we've overused the amount that we said we'll be using today. So yeah, so this that's how basically it works. So what happens is when you go to the application, so if I try accessing WhatsApp, because you're tracking WhatsApp, if I try accessing WhatsApp, it will bring me back there. If I try accessing TikTok, it will bring me back there again, because these particular apps are the ones that I'm monitoring. So the moment you try accessing it, it would forward you to where the lock screen is, so you can't access them. So yeah, so this is the demo of my application. This is how the whole thing works. If you log out and you log in again, it will not take you to the onboarding screen. But if you are a new person who is coming into the application, you have to go through the onboarding so that we can set up the application for you. So yeah, so basically that's my application. That's the FocusLock application. And yes, so thank you.